And Madam Interpreter, I'm going to read my script slowly so that
Yes.
you can
You have the
translate.
male inmates too, or just the females?
That's what we're waiting on. We have the females that are ready.
I don't have any female.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. So, but they're going to do them both at the same time.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, we already in the jail.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Your Honor, I need to be sworn.
Okay.
Spanish speaking, come to the front.
Do you swear or affirm that you will translate from English to Spanish, Spanish into English to the best of your knowledge, skill, and training?
I swear, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, do you want to find out if somebody needs me so we don't drag it in case nobody needs me?
Spanish? Get up. Come on.
You want me to call out?
Oh, no, no, no. He's the deputy's getting him.
Yes, we have two, Your Honor, and they're right at the front.
Okay.
Okay, and would you tell me their name?
Yes.
Would you tell me their names, please?
Hercules and Garcia.
David García. ¿Y
Okay.
su nombre, señor? ¿El otro?
Felipe Hercules.
Yeah, I'm Felipe Hercules.
Okay. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es su primera audiencia aquí en el Tribunal del Condado de Clayton County.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brett Garner y soy el juez que preside.
I'm not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
No estoy aquí para hacer el juicio de su caso ni para que usted se declare en su caso.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy aquí para informarle cuáles son los cargos que hay en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
explicarle ciertos derechos que usted tiene,
to set bail on those offenses that I am authorized to set bail,
para imponerle fianza en los cargos que tiene en su contra que se le puede imponer fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para darle una cita para una audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y también para determinar si usted necesita la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tiene el derecho a mantenerse en silencio y no decir nada.
But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you.
Pero si usted renuncia a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que usted diga hoy puede ser usado en su contra más tarde en otra audiencia.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor no hable de los hechos que hay en su contra.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante esta audiencia y todas las futuras, usted tiene los derechos que le voy a nombrar.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
La presunción de inocencia.
The right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies.
El derecho de que un gran jurado le lea las causas oficiales.
Or by accusation for misdemeanors.
O una acusación formal si es una causa menor.
The right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
El derecho a un juicio rápido frente a un jurado.
The right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
El derecho de hacerle preguntas a los testigos que vinieran a testificar en su contra.
The right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf.
El derecho de obligar al tribunal a que traigan testigos y evidencia en su favor.
The right to testify on your own behalf.
El derecho a dar su propio testimonio en su defensa.
Or offer evidence in your own defense.
O traer evidencias en su defensa.
The right to have an attorney represent you.
El derecho de tener un abogado que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no puede costear el gasto de un abogado, aquí en el tribunal le pondrían un abogado de juicio.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
A algunos de ustedes les vamos a imponer fianzas sin restricciones para poder salir de la cárcel.
These bonds may be cash, commercial, or property.
Esta fianza la puede hacer con el dinero en efectivo, a través de una casa de fianzas o con una propiedad.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash to the sheriff's office.
Si usted necesita hacer una fianza de dinero en efectivo, va a tener que ser el dinero total o la fianza total y alguien va a tener que venir aquí a traer ese dinero para que usted pueda salir.
The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it to you when your case is over.
Ese dinero de la fianza va a quedar aquí en la comisaría o en el sheriff y cuando su caso concluya y se termine, ese dinero se lo van a devolver.
If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service.
Ahora, si usted quiere pagar la fianza a través de estas casas o estas compañías de fianza, estas compañías le cobran un gasto extra por el servicio.
The fee will not be returned.
Y ese gasto o extra no se lo devuelve.
I don't know what fee will be charged, but it's generally a percentage of your bond amount.
Yo no le puedo decir exactamente cuánto es este gasto extra que le cobran la compañía, pero es un porcentaje de la fianza.
Finally, if you post a property bond, the property will need to have a net equity in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond.
Ahora, si usted quiere poner el título de una propiedad como fianza, la casa tiene que estar pagada por lo menos 3 veces el costo de lo que es la fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener fianza con restricciones, lo que quiere decir que ustedes no van a poder contactar cierta persona o no van a poder ir a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
Y tampoco van a poder contactar la víctima, si es que hay víctima en sus casos, si están en la cárcel.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted quebranta alguna de las restricciones impuestas, usted perdería el dinero de la fianza y podría ser encarcelado nuevamente.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Y también se le impondrían cargos superiores o felonías, además de los que ya tiene.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante que usted sepa que si este caso involucra a una víctima, esa víctima no puede venir aquí a pagar la fianza para que usted salga.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes tienen cargos por los cuales yo no les puedo imponer fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County.
En ese caso, vamos a darle otra audiencia en frente a otro juez para establecer la fianza en su caso.
And you will be informed of that date.
A usted les vamos a avisar si eso va a ocurrir en sus casos.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Y tampoco si usted ahorita está bajo probatoria o libertad condicional y está preso una vez más, no va a poder recibir fianza.
Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Y si ese es el caso, como le acabo de decir, si usted está bajo fianza en este momento, hasta que su oficial de libertad condicional vea su nuevo causa, ahí se le va a imponer la fianza.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
La otra audiencia que yo les había nombrado antes, la audiencia preliminar, esa audiencia es solamente para determinar si el policía o si había causa suficiente para arrestarlo. Esa es la audiencia preliminar.
The standard at this stage is very low.
Es muy poco lo que hay que demostrar en esa audiencia. No hace falta demostrar demasiada evidencia.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Es tan baja lo que hay que determinar que el juez solo tiene que ver si había suficiente razón para arrestarlo o no.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Usted puede renunciar a esa audiencia que le acabo de explicar, la preliminar. Usted puede renunciar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Pero si usted no está seguro, quizás le convendría hablar con un abogado antes para saber si necesita o no presentarse en esa audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted puede pagar fianza y salir, esa audiencia preliminar se renuncia automáticamente, no tiene que presentarse.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y le vamos a mandar por correo a la dirección que usted nos puso cuándo va a ser su próxima audiencia, cuándo se tiene que presentar en la corte.
Okay, could I have everyone raise their right hand, please?
Levanten la mano derecha, por favor.
Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth to help you God?
¿Ustedes juran que el testimonio que van a dar hoy aquí va a ser la verdad? No lo escucho.
Sí.
Yes. Yes. Baje la mano.
So we have Mr. Garcia and Mr. Hercules.
Tenemos al señor García y al señor Hércules, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to address you two gentlemen first so that you can get going.
Ok, entonces vamos a hablar con ustedes dos primero. García y Hércules, a la vez. Muy bien.
Yep.
Mr. Garcia,
Señor García, ¿cuál es?
Yeah.
Ah, ok.
you've been charged with one offense of driving a vehicle without a license.
Señor García, usted solamente tiene un cargo en su contra de manejar sin licencia.
Your bond is going to be set at $1,000.
Su fianza es de $1,000.
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
¿Usted cree que va a poder pagar esa fianza?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted cree que va a necesitar un abogado, que va a contratar un abogado, o quiere que yo le ponga un abogado público? ¿Qué piensa usted?
No sé.
I don't know.
Okay.
Necesitaría consultar a alguien más. Necesitaría consultar a alguien más una opinión. No sé la verdad.
I would like to ask somebody's opinion. I really don't know about this.
Okay, that's fine.
Ok, está bien.
I am going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd.
Entonces, el marzo 23 va a ser su próxima audiencia
at 8:30 in the morning.
a las 8:30 de la mañana.
So what I'm going to place on my paperwork is that currently you're going to hire your own lawyer.
Entonces, yo en mis papeles voy a poner que usted quizás vaya a contratar un abogado.
If you decide that you want to have a lawyer appointed, you can make an application for that to happen.
Pero si usted quiere que le nombremos un abogado gratuito del tribunal, usted puede completar una solicitud.
Any questions, Mr. Garcia?
Señor García, ¿tiene alguna pregunta?
No.
No.
Okay, Mr. Hercules.
Sí.
Ahora el señor Hércules.
Sí.
Sir,
Yes.
you've been charged with one count of simple battery.
A usted lo han acusado de agresión simple.
The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that.
Su fianza va a ser de $5,000.
I'm also putting a stay away provision on your bond.
Y también voy a poner una restricción en su fianza de estar alejado, ahora le digo,
to stay away from your wife, and I believe her name is Norris Mariela Galdamez de Hercules.
Tiene que estar alejado de su esposa. Creo que dijo Mariela de Hércules.
That provision can be changed later.
Esa condición de estar alejado quizás en el futuro se cambie, pero por ahora no puede tener contacto.
But for now, you have to stay away from her, or you're going to risk having your bond revoked.
¿Entiende? Usted tiene que estar alejado de ella, no tener ningún contacto, si no usted va a perder esa fianza, si es que sale.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Usted cree que va a contratar un abogado? ¿Usted cree que no va a contratar a un abogado? ¿O usted quiere que yo vea si usted califica para un abogado gratuito ahora?
Quiero ver si califico.
I would like to know, see if I qualify.
You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Señor, usted sí califica, así que le voy a nombrar un abogado que lo va a representar en forma gratuita.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning.
El 23 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana va a ser su próxima audiencia, que es la audiencia preliminar.
But that date will be waived upon your bonding out.
Pero si usted sale bajo fianza, no se tiene que presentar a esa audiencia.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Dice que si salgo bajo fianza no me tengo que presentar a esa corte.
Yes, you said that if I bail out, I do not have to go to the preliminary hearing, correct?
Correct.
Es correcto, no tiene que ir.
Pero va a haber otra corte.
But it's gonna be another hearing, right?
Yes, and you will receive that information in the mail at the address you give the sheriff's department.
Pero para la próxima audiencia, usted va a recibir una carta por correo en la dirección que usted nos puso en ese formulario.
Any other questions, sir?
¿Alguna otra pregunta, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Se puede ir nomás.
Ms. Fitzgerald, thank you for your help. You're free to go also, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Deputy,
Yes, sir.
since is it possible for us to go ahead and do both Mr. Brown and Mr. Fuller?
Yes, Your Honor, we can go ahead and take care of him right now. Mr. Brown, step up to the podium, sir. You're gonna have Brown first. We'll have Fuller on standby, Your Honor.
Okay. I think we lost the lawyer. Mr. Arnold, are you still there? Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. Your lawyer had been hanging on, and we were trying to do you so that your lawyer can go about his business, but it looks like he has stepped off. So we're gonna have to address you when your lawyer come back. I do apologize, okay?
Thank you.
So I guess we can go with the women now.
Yes, sir. We're gonna have Miss Bernadette first. I'm sorry, Burnett first, excuse me.
Okay. And I have a person, deputy, at the end. Looks like her last name is YAKUBU. And I don't know if she's OTB or not, but I don't have a bond order for her.
You go home. She actually, I believe, got it actually already bonded out.
Okay. All right. Ms. Burnett, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
You've been charged with one count of driving under the influence of alcohol to the extent that it made you a less safe driver. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify?
Hiring a lawyer.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back. Thank you.
Come on. What's your name? I have Miss Chambers next, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Chambers, you've been charged with one count of violating Georgia's open container statute. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
$500?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I can pay it or not. Is there any type of signature bond that y'all?
Currently, under Chief Judge Wright Hill, we're not doing OR bonds or signature bonds. So you're gonna have to post the bond, get out. What I would encourage you to do is contact the bonding companies that are listed that the sheriff's office has authorized to write bonds and see what they'll charge you in order to post the bond for you to get out. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date will be waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Ms. Hopkins next, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Hopkins, I actually do not have a warrant for you. I have a bond order, but no warrant. And I see the two bond warrant numbers, and they both say violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. So I'm going to have to see if I can get a hold of that bond order. And if I am, sorry, if I am able to set a bond on these offenses, I will. So I do apologize, ma'am, that I'm not going to be able to tell you a bond amount right now. But what I can do is make a determination if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, because I do have your sheet here. Do you want me to make that determination?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So what I'm going to have to do, just so you're clear, I'm going to have to get paperwork on my end, and you will get the information. And it's going to happen today. But that's just something that I saw it in here, and I should have asked before we got on, but I'm going to ask, and I'm going to get that information, and you're going to know the information. Okay.
Okay, you said I do qualify for one. a bond.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just need to figure out, because the way that it's written, it could be either a misdemeanor or a felony charge. And I can't make that determination right now because it's just written in a certain way that I don't know. But I'm gonna figure that out, and that's just my fault that I didn't have that done right now. So do you have any questions of what's gonna happen next?
So when would I know you said I know the bond by the end of the day?
Yes, ma'am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the actual paperwork, and I'm certain it's here somewhere, because I do have the warrant numbers, but that was just an oversight on my behalf that I should have had it already done before now.
You said it was a warrant?
Yes, so what happens when you are arrested, there is a number that's assigned to you. And so we call them warrant numbers. So that's what it is. It's not like they was just sitting out there waiting, but it's just a tracking number, so that when I get done with this, I'm gonna request the information using that tracking number, and the paperwork is here somewhere. But we deal with so much paper, sometimes things like this happens.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, ma'am?
Okay.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Hunter?
Ms. Hunter, you have one count of assault. I'm setting the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I'm also putting a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Damian Thornton. That's something that can get changed later, but for right now, I'm putting that stay away provision on. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd. For that date to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm gonna hire my own.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Ms. Hunter?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Akiva Milton.
Are you Ms. Milton?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Ms. Milton, you've been charged with one count of driving under the influence,
Yes.
one count of an open container violation, and one count of improper lane change. So the DUI, I'm gonna set a bond at $5,000 for that. The other two offenses, bonds are automatically set at $500 apiece. So you're gonna have a total bond of $6,000. You believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date will be waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm not a lawyer.
You're gonna hire your own lawyer?
No, I'm seeing if I qualify.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Sophia Muhammad.
Ms. Muhammad, you've been charged with one count of family violence battery. I'm setting the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post it?
Yes, sir.
I'm also putting a stay away provision for you to stay away from Miss Shelburne. And I'm also gonna put a stay away provision on her also. So until that gets changed, two of you are gonna have to stay away from each other. I'm giving you a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring a lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'd like to see if I qualify.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Powell.
Ms. Powell, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass damage to property. I'm setting the bond at $5,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on representing yourself, hiring your own lawyer, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry?
Hiring.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for March 23rd, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
When will I be able to run out my schedule?
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Lauren Sheldon?
Ms. Shelburne, I'm in charge of one count of family violence battery. I'm also setting your bond at $5,000, and I'm putting a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Miss Muhammad. That stay away provision can be changed later, but for now, the two of you are gonna have to stay away from each other, okay?
Okay.
I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date will be waived upon your bonding out. Do you believe you can post that $5,000 bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'd like to see if I qualify.
Okay. Approximately how much do you earn per month?
I just started with the job, so I don't have that amount, sir.
Okay. Do you know like how much you're being paid on an hourly basis?
It's not hourly. I work as a tattoo artist, so it's by appointment.
Okay. Can you give me an estimate?
About probably 1,500, 2,000 maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna find if you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
How long will the stay away possibly last?
The short answer is that I don't know. It's something that can change relatively quickly. The two of you have both been charged, And so sometimes it'll go from a stay away to a no violent contact, just based upon kind of figuring out what happened. The basic idea is we don't want whatever led to the two of you being arrested to get picked back up this evening. So today is Monday. I would presume that if the two of you desire for it to be changed, that it can be changed relatively quickly. But I can't, it's gonna be decisions made by other people. So that's the reason I'm saying I can't tell you the exact time, but it can be relatively quickly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're free to go back, man.
My lady is sick.
Ms. Ship, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One is driving on a suspended or revoked license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. You also have been charged with driving a vehicle on a expired or invalid tag. The bond is also automatically set, but that is going to be $500. So you're going to have a total bond of $2,000. You believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes,
You plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
see if I qualify.
You do qualify, Ms. Ship, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd. That date will be waived upon your bonding out. So do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jaylene, right?
I'm sorry, say that again, ma'am.
Jaylene, right?
Ms. Wright, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of driving on a suspended or revoked license. I'm setting the bond at $5,000 on a criminal trespass, and the bond is going to be set at $1,500 for the driving on a suspended license, for a total bond of $6,500. I'm also putting a stay away provision on your bond, a stay away, I believe, from Mr. Goober. And I'm also putting a stay away provision on his bond, to stay away from you. As I indicated before, those conditions can be changed, but for the moment, we don't want you guys getting into another argument or disagreement. So do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Appointment of a lawyer.
Okay, you do qualify, Ms. Wright, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, that's gonna be all the females, Your Honor.
Okay, is Miss Simon OTB?
Yes, sir.
I have another person, Ibrahim YYYY. Is she OTB?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Arnold.
Yes, Judge, how are you?
I'm doing well. Mr. Arnold is representing Mr. Brown and Mr. Fuller.
That's correct, Judge.
We tried to go to you earlier, Mr. Arnold, and you had gotten off right before I asked for you. So we had Mr. Brown there because I was going to try to do you since we were still dealing with the 2 Spanish-speaking individuals.
Okay, I figured with the 10 positions that you had that it would take a few minutes, so I took a quick call, but I'm glad we got to us now.
Yes.
Thank
So
you,
let's I think we have Mr. Brown ready to go.
All right. So, Judge, I know that these buttons are preset. However, I would ask for some consideration for Mr. Brown. He's 60 years old. He's never been arrested. He's got 5 children. He actually has an 18-year-old son, as we speak right now, who's at home in Arizona. he spent 20 years in the NFL, and he was a coach for about 12 years, Judge. So this is an upstanding citizen. It won't be any issue getting him back to court. My goal ultimately is to resolve this without him having to come to court. So on both of these individuals, I'm asking for signature bonds. I know the court has already set bonds, but that's what I'm asking for, Judge.
That under the current chief judge, we're not writing OR bonds or signature bonds anymore. So I set the bond. It seemed sort of a weird kind of thing with the warrants, but I'd set the bond at $5,000 for Mr. Brown.
All right. If we just so I can do my job, Judge, I'm going to ask if we can set that bond at $1,500. Like I said, he has no criminal history. I'm getting him back to court won't be an issue, and he's never been arrested. I think $1,500 is appropriate if I can ask for that, Judge.
What I'll do is I'll set it at 2,000.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Judge.
I'm still getting kind of my feet wet as it relates to these gummy issues. They're listed as felonies.
It's because of how they charge the concentrates, but it's really ridiculous, Judge. It's really ridiculous. They got to come up with something better.
Because Mr. Fuller, I did set his bond at 1,500.
Yes, and he has the misdemeanor, correct?
Right. Right.
Yeah, they should have been charged the same, but legislation, what can we say?
Yeah. So I'll set Mr. Brown's bond at 2,000.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. They're gonna have different days. His preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for March 22nd.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you check your email real fast?
Sure. Give me 1 second, Mr. Arnold.
Go ahead, Judge.
I have an email from Ms. Ferguson, but I don't have any other emails. Give me a second, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Was that Deputy Jameson asking me to check the email?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It wasn't for me though, it was from one of the clerks.
Okay. Was that Miss Ferguson or Miss Fitzpatrick?
It might have been Miss Bernie.
Okay. Miss Bernie did send me a link. And it's about Mr. Fuller and his different names. Is that what you needed me to focus on?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to make sure that we had the right people.
Yes, we do. You guys corrected the information that helped me, and Mr. Arnold actually confirmed that George Brown is actually George Fuller. Is that correct, Mr. Arnold?
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
I
Okay.
think you can let down, Freddie.
Okay.
Got no corrective form fee. I would never did that.
Miss Mary, you're not on mute. Okay, Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna set the bond for Leonard Ray Brown at $2,000. And we'll go to Mr. George Fuller, AKA George Brown,
Thank you, Judge.
okay? Mr.
Just let me,
Fuller,
just let me know when you're ready, Judge. I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
So for Mr. Brown, his bond has already been set, Judge, but again, similar to his, I guess, their co-defendants, Judge. No criminal history. He's never been in any serious trouble. He's had some traffic tickets. Other than that, no history, Judge. Very minor charge. I understand that his bond is set at $1,500. Being his attorney, I think the prudent thing for me to do is ask for a bond of around $500, Judge. Again, no arrest. He is local. We won't have any issue getting him back before the court. So I'll ask for a bond of $500 in that case.
I'm gonna keep it at 1,500.
Okay.
They actually, on the warrant, they have it listed as a felony. But on his bond order, it's listed as a misdemeanor. So I'm treating it as a misdemeanor for purposes of today. As I indicated before, the warrant, it gave a lot of information, but didn't really say a lot. There's a
I
lot of
understand what
words
you mean
about
when you
it.
say that.
Yeah. So as I look at it, it kind of, I understand the felony charge before. Well, I understand why they did it, but I'm going to keep it at 1,500 for Mr. Fuller. And he's going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd.
March 23rd.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that date will be waived upon his bonding out. And
I'll get to the bottom of whether it's going to be state court or superior court. I'll find out.
okay. So these bond orders will be entered today. Your clients should be able to get out today. So do you have any other questions of me, Mr. Arnold?
That's all, Judge. You can let my clients know if they have any questions. Just give me a call. I'll be communicating with their families to go ahead and get them out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Fuller, you're welcome to go back, sir.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, so you just let me know who you want to deal with next and we'll keep going.
I'm gonna have Bigsby coming up, guys.
Okay. Mr. Bigsby, you've been charged with one count of leaving the scene of an accident. The bond is set by schedule at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm hiring a lawyer.
Okay. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right. Isaiah Boyd.
Mr. Boyd, you've been charged with one count of driving on a suspended or revoked license. The bond is set by schedule at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
No, sir.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, Mr. Boyd?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Boyd. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also giving you a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will be waived upon your bonding out. I would encourage you to contact the differing bonding companies that are approved to write bonds in this county and see if they will work with you. But I am giving you a lawyer so that lawyer can also work with you, because this is a relatively minor charge. You shouldn't be sitting in jail for weeks if you don't have to. Okay. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Boyd.
Good morning, sir. My
Are
name
you
is
Mr.
Antonio Clayton. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I've set the bond at $10,000, and I've also put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Frida Jones.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'll leave my options open. You can see if I qualify, and then we'll kind of go from there, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Clay? I'm sorry. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to set appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Yes,
You're
sir.
gonna have a different date than some of the other dates that you've heard about. Your preliminary hearing date is gonna be set for March 22nd.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me?
Not currently at the moment. Sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
How you doing, Patrick Camper?
Mr. Camper, you've been charged with 4 offenses. Improper lane change. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. Possession of less than an ounce of marijuana, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. And then 2 counts of possession or use of drug-related objects. I'm going to set the bond for both of those at $1,500. So that's going to give you a total bond of $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Can you see if I qualify?
You do qualify, Mr. Camper. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cobb, Justin Cobb. Come on, Coach. Yeah, I have Mr. Cook coming.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good morning. Or good afternoon now, Mr. Cook. You've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon you bonding out.
Okay.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Appointment of a lawyer.
Okay. Are you currently employed, Mr. Cook?
No.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Cook.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're Mr. Dodson? Okay, sir, you've been charged with one count of loitering or prowling. The bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, you said no? Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, Mr. Dodson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date will be waived upon your bonding out. I would also encourage you to contact the different bonding companies in the county, because sometimes they work with people so that you don't have to just sit here for this charge.
Yes.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Good morning, Ron.
Good morning. Tell me your name, sir.
Ali Fields.
Okay. Mr. Fields, you've been charged with one count of armed robbery. I cannot set bond at this stage for that offense. I have set a preliminary hearing date for March 22nd. I'm also going to set a bond hearing date for March 26th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Fields. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Johnny Glover.
Mr. Glover, you've been charged with one count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that. I've also put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Duntavius Ramsey. That can be changed later, but right now we're gonna keep that there. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
If you qualify, Mr. Glover, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have that preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that will be waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
That's the one, Original Goober.
Mr. Goober, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've set a bond in this case. You're charged with criminal trespass, simple battery, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And so you have a $2,500 bond for the criminal trespass, a $5,000 bond for the simple battery, and a $2,500 bond for the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And that brings a total bond of $10,000. And I put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Ms. Wright. I also put a stay away provision on her bond to stay away from you. Those can get changed later. They need to get changed. But do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Sir. Yes.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Approximately how much do you make per month?
Well, my job recently just stopped. I recently just stopped working. I was working with a temp and our job just finished. So until I get another job, I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Sir,
Hey, you're free to go back.
She is, home. Who's home? Home and home.
there you go.
Good morning or good afternoon. Are you Mr. Holmes?
No, Tackways Collins.
Judge, it might be out of order. His last name gonna be Collins.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I don't recall seeing a Collins. I don't have a Collins on my list. Is that's Collins, sir?
Yes.
Hmm.
Who's supposed to come down here, dog?
They told me to come yesterday because I can't even let my paperwork and print up this somewhere.
Yeah, I was here yesterday and George Knight rescheduled him for today because something was going on with his paperwork.
Okay.
Something about, I think his printer or something wasn't working, so he couldn't get to his paperwork.
Okay. Can we have Mr. Collins stand by?
Sure.
And we'll do everyone else, and I'll see what I can do to get your paperwork.
Okay. And
Okay.
that is another individual too, Antonio Hampton. He came also yesterday.
Okay. Collins and Hampton. Okay. He's going to be in. They're both going to be in the same boat, so we'll come back to them at the end.
Yes, sir. You left off with Hercules?
Yes, that was one of the Spanish persons. We did him.
Mr. Holmes?
I do have Mr. Holmes.
Brandon Holmes? We're gonna bypass him, he's not down here. What about Mr. Hutchinson?
I do have paperwork for Mr. Hutchinson. You're Mr. Hutchinson?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Okay. Okay.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, good afternoon, Mr. King. You've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $2,500 for that, but I've also put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Sharkia Banks. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I want to see if I qualify.
You do qualify, Mr. King. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to set this preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Sorry.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Eric, move. Move. Eric, move. There's Robert McLaughlin. Yeah.
Map or color? Map. Yeah, Mr. Holmes actually went home earlier today.
Okay,
I have Mr. Map coming up.
okay. Mr. Mapp, you've been charged with 4 offenses: cruelty to children, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, aggravated battery, and criminal trespass. You're gonna have bonds set on the cruelty to children and the criminal trespass. They're gonna be both set at $5,000 apiece, but at right now, bond is gonna be denied on the aggravated battery and the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 22nd. And I'm also gonna set a bond hearing date for March 26th. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I need to be qualified, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Tell me your name, sir.
Deshaun Miles.
Mr. Miles, you've been charged with 2 offenses. One is driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is going to be automatically set at $1,000 for that. You also have a possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond also is set automatically for that. It's going to be set at $1,500. So that's going to be a total bond of $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify?
I need a lawyer, sir.
I'm sorry?
I would need a lawyer, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Show your name.
My name Naji, Abdullah Naji.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
1,000, so okay. I will try to call my wife.
Okay. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date will be automatically waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
That's good.
I'm sorry?
That's good.
Okay, you do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Lawyer, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Okay, so you say you get a lawyer for me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, you're free to
So
go
I
back.
wait. So I wait for telephone call my wife, get me bond 1,000,
Yes, sir.
get out, and we wait for court there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Tell me your name, sir. Okay. Mr. Pitts, you've been charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce and obstructing an officer. The marijuana charge is going to have a bond set at 1,500, and the obstructing an officer charge, the bond is going to be set at 5,000 for a total bond of 6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I can see if I qualify.
You do qualify, Mr. Pitts. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date will be waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right. Yeah, I have Mr. Miller, Terrell Miller.
Okay.
First name is King. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. You've been charged with one count of trafficking marijuana, setting the bond at $15,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
No.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify, Mr. Miller. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for March 22nd. I'm also going to set a bond hearing date for March 26th. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I take 10% of that to the bond?
Generally, yes. I mean, they charge a fee, and I don't know what it is, but it's generally roughly about 10%.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Ross. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Are you Mr. Redding?
No, I'm Mr. Ross.
Mr. Ross, okay. Mr. Ross, you're charged with one count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can put that bond?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Could you see if I qualify for the appointment of one?
Okay. You qualify, Mr. Ross. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Have your name, sir? Mr. Sheffield, you've been charged with home invasion in the first degree, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery, and theft by taking. I can't set bonds on the home invasion and aggravated assault at this time. I did set a bond at 5,000 for the battery and 2,000 for the theft by taking. I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for March 23rd. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify.
You do qualify, Mr. Sheffield. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Am I getting a bond hearing date too, or no?
You're gonna have a bond hearing date set for March 26th at 8:30 in the morning. And that date can get changed by your lawyer, but currently it's gonna be set for March 26th.
All right, you're gonna appoint me a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, and I won't be able to get in contact with them until the preliminary hearing?
More than likely, yes, because of the nature of the charges. But I mean, I just see the nature of the charges. So if things are different, if there's change in circumstances or something like that, your lawyer may be able to work with the district attorney's office as it relates to a consent bond or something of that nature.
So I won't know how to get in contact with my lawyer for reason of affidavit or something. If I need to get that turned into him, I won't be able to get in contact with him until then.
That's what I'm filling out right now. I'm filling it out, and this is going to go over to the public defender's office today. So they're going to know that you've been appointed to represent. Communication can go both ways. Either you reach out to them or they reach out to you.
All right, and what would it just be, the public defender office of Clayton County? Like, who my folks notify?
Yes, it's because these are felony charges, it's going to be assigned to the public defender's office of Clayton County, assuming like there's no conflict related issues. If there are conflict related issues, then it'll be assigned to a lawyer, private lawyer that has agreed to take cases on an appointed basis in Clayton County.
So I just Google the public defender office and try to get in contact with them?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Wait, Yana, I just got one more question.
Sure.
How long will it take for me to get appointed an attorney? Is it just before I go to court, or is it a certain amount of time you tell me?
What I can tell you is that I send the paperwork over to them today. So right now they are your lawyers. They just don't know it yet. And they'll get that information when this hearing is over. I pull everything together and I send the packet over to them. So they'll get it today.
Okay, so if I was trying to get anything to them, I'll have to wait till then.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
How you doing, Judge Snowden?
Hi, Mr. Snowden. Give me 1 second. Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by taking and 1 count of simple battery, family violence. The bond is going to be denied at this stage on the theft by taking charge. You're going to have a bond set at $5,000 on the simple battery, family violence. There's going to be a stay away provision on your bond, stay away from Robin Herman.
Sir, permission to speak.
Yes, sir.
So I've been locked up 15 months right now. I've been locked up 15 months on the theft by taking on the car. I didn't take no car, sir. I've been living with the girl for 16 years.
Let me ask you this, because I saw that the warrant was written almost 2 years ago.
I've been locked up.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to get out, get done, get out. I'm not even from here. Me and her, we had a place together. We got into a fuss, and that was it. She gave me the car. The car was in my name. She had another car. She gave me the car. She just wanted me to leave. But then she called the police, and we've been together for 16 years. And this the only time we ever got into a country like a fight or anything like this.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, Mr. Snowden. I'm gonna check into this.
I'm trying to go home, sir.
Mr. Snowden, I understand. When I say I'm gonna check into this, that means I'm gonna look at your criminal history, okay? Mr. Snowden, I need you to stay with me, okay?
Yes, sir.
These warrants, one of the big things that caused me concern was that it looks like the warrants have been pending for a while. What I hear from you is that you have been in custody, and that's why the warrants have been pending.
Yes, sir.
So I'm fine to look into that and set you a bond.
How long do you think it'll take, sir? I'm ready to go home to my family, sir.
It's not gonna take me long. I mean, it's not gonna, what I'm doing is I'm moving everybody along because everybody is trying to get out, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna go back because I gotta give the paperwork back over today. So this is gonna get resolved today. But I'm telling you that the concern I had was the length of time. And what I hear from you is that you were in custody, and that's why these warrants were pending.
Yes, sir.
So I'm fine to check into that. Because the thing in my mind was, hey, if this guy's been out with these warrants for 2 years, we need to make sure that we put a hand on him.
Yes,
But
sir.
you're telling me that you were in custody. So
Yes.
that's what I'm looking into.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for March 22nd. And like I told you before, the reason that I denied bond, you're telling me that reason doesn't exist. So I'm going to look into it. Listen to me. I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to make that determination. But I'm not going to have everybody waiting while I try to figure that out.
Hey, can I stay in here? Can I stay in here instead of going back to the dorm? Because when I go back to the dorm, I don't know nothing about this county. I don't know nothing about. I ain't took no car from nobody. I stayed with this girl for 16 years. I got her name tattooed on me. I ain't never took nothing from her. I've been locked up over 20 years in my life. Over 20 years in my life, I've been locked up. Now this time right here, I've been locked up since 2019. I've been locked up.
So, Mr. Snowden, there's no reason for you to stay in there and wait for me to make that determination for this reason. Your charges are not going to get resolved today. The only thing that's going to get resolved is whether you get a bond that you can go home.
That's
okay?
all. That's
and
all.
You don't need to sit there, and they don't need to sit there, and nobody else needs to wait on me to make that determination, because I'm the judge. And so when I send the paperwork over, they get the paperwork and then they start working on it. Does that make sense to you?
Not really, because I don't know if I go back in this dorm, it ain't no telling when I'm
Yeah,
gonna see
he's
somebody.
clear. Once he goes back into the dorm, they'll let him use the phone from that point on. We're not gonna keep going back and forth with the same questions. Step that way, Mr. Snow.
You understand? Okay, thank you. Tell me your name, sir.
Sean Simon.
Will you spell that last name for me?
Simon.
Mm. Okay. I just saw your paperwork, Mr. Simon. Give me a second. Sir, you've been charged with one count of a window tint violation. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. And one count of driving a vehicle on a suspended or revoked license. The bond is set at $1,500 for a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd. At 8:30 in the morning. That date is gonna be waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
If I qualify.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, tell me your last name, sir.
Civil Fleming.
Okay.
I can.
You've been charged with one count of violating Georgia's seatbelt law. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that, and one count of possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. The bond is set at $1,500 for a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
No.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, Your Honor. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, tell me your name, sir.
Timothy Horner.
Mr. Varner, you've been charged with one count of driving a vehicle on a suspended or revoked license and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond for both of these offenses is automatically set at $1,500 for a total bond of $3,000. So you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Sir, yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm gonna see, could you help me out with a lawyer, please?
You qualify, Mr. Varner, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Hi, tell me your name, sir.
Todd Brandon Wedlow.
Mr. Wedlow, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. And I've set the bond at $10,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
10% in property, or 10,000 with 10% of interest.
You can do a bonding company, you can do property, or you can do cash.
Do you possibly know the amount it would be at a bonding company for $10,000?
I don't. What I would encourage you to do is to call the bonding companies that are authorized to write the bonds, and they'll tell you how much they'll charge.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. You're free to go back.
Thank you. How you doing? Lee Anthony Wooder.
Okay. Sir, you've been charged with a number of misdemeanor offenses. 7 offenses. They all have a bond that's been preset at $500. So that's going to be a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See, can I qualify, sir?
You do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is going to be waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Yeah, I have Mr. Henry Obama.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You've been charged with 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. The bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry.
Sir?
Do you believe you can post the $1,000 bond?
Yeah, I have the bond.
Okay. You plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Help me with a lawyer. Help me with a lawyer, sir.
I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out.
John, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Mr. Henry bond has already been paid. They actually are here now to pick him up.
Okay. And you're free to go back, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
That should be it. I have those last 2 gentlemen that was put on for me over the weekend.
Okay, give me 1 second. Mr. Redding is OTB,
Yes, sir.
and Mr. Suggs is OTB.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm gonna also check on my end for those 2 gentlemen as well. If you can give me about 2 minutes.
Okay, and that was Mr. Collins and Mr. Hampton?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna call over to, well, shoot. The office is actually shut down now for lunch. I'm just making sure I have my paperwork right. I have a Robert McCullough that looks like he may be OTB.
Correct, he is.
Okay. And Edward Douglas?
Yes, sir, gone.
Okay. The person, Mr. Simon, it took me a minute to find him because on my warrant, he's listed as a female.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. All right, so looks like we have Mr. Hampton and Mr. Collins. On my end, and I don't know if did the paperwork make it back to you guys, or
No, it didn't come back to us. I guess we just understood that Judge Knight was gonna pass it over, but I will go check because they may already actually have a bind in the system for them already.
Okay, I'll stand by.
Okay.